Hi, this is Fred Marshak, and we're briefly going to go over Chapter 9, our Milky Way. We already know what it looks like from the inside. The bright part is the Milky Way. The whole thing is our Milky Way galaxy. So from the surface of the Earth, this is what the entire Milky Way looks like. Notice there's a lot of lanes of dust. Remember, we can see inside of these by using infrared. A face-on view is sort of like a frisbee. We're looking down on top of the frisbee. Our sun is about 2/3 of the way out from the center, and there's the edge-on view on the right-hand side. So there are some parts of our galaxy that you need to know. Okay, it's about 100,000 light years in diameter. The center is, from the center, we're about 30,000 light years from the center of the galaxy itself. The galactic halo goes around the whole thing. The galactic bulge is just around the middle. There are clouds of dust and gas around this galactic disk, and these clouds of dust and gas generally form stars. And so we see near the center there are lots of different clusters of stars. We have a very good view of this from the National Geographic map of our galaxy. You can see as we zoom in there a little bit that everything we see in the sky is very, very close to us. And we really can't see into the center of our galaxy very easily. So again, we're about 2/3 of the way out. There are types of clusters called open clusters. They're throughout the galactic disk. So when you see the Milky Way in the sky, you should be able to see some of these open or galactic clusters. What do they look like? Well, they're open. The stars don't appear to be touching each other. There might be 10 or 20 stars, maybe a couple hundred. And you've seen this very famous one in the winter sky called the Pleiades or the Seven Sisters. Well, there's lots more than 7 there. It's a rather large family. Now, there are globular clusters, but they aren't in the disk. They're in the galactic halo. So they're all much further away. So besides these open clusters, we have what are called globular clusters. And the globular clusters, this is one through a fairly large telescope. Let's look at it through the Hubble. See how much more detail you can see. The resolution is much, much better. Notice how red they are. That's because they're very old stars. So galactic clusters are found in the galactic plane, and the globular clusters are found in the halo. Associations are also found within the disk. Probably the best association is the Orion Nebula, just below the 3 stars in Orion. And the Orion Nebula shows you dust. It shows you the 4 newest stars you can see anywhere, at least from our perspective. So population 1 stars are younger. They're rich in heavy elements. They're hotter stars. Like which type? Like the open clusters. Population 2 stars are older. They are low in heavy elements, meaning they're mostly hydrogen and helium, and they're like which cluster? The globular clusters. So how do we actually know which is old and which is young? We can take something like the HR diagram, and we can put these clusters on there without even knowing their distance, because they're all at about the same distance. So if you look at an open cluster, all those stars are about the same distance. So here's population 1. Why are they younger? Because they're all along the main sequence. Population 2 stars on a globular cluster bend off the main sequence. That turning off point shows you how old the globular cluster is. If it was lower to the lower right, it would be an older cluster.